Hola, hola, amigas. Welcome to another episode of Modern Latina in Midlife. I'm Sonia Flores, holistic life and business coach, podcast producer, intuitive advisor, energy healer, and your host. Thank you for being here once again. And at the time of the publishing of this episode, it is the last week of 2025. And something big happened this year for me that I don't think I've shared, and I don't think I've taken the time to celebrate. And that is that 2025 marked the year that I've been in business for 10 years. And I didn't take the time to celebrate that. And I'm going to do that. And before the year is over, I want to acknowledge that and celebrate that and also share 10 important lessons that I've learned from being in business for 10 years. But before we dive in, I want to share a little bit more about the state of small entrepreneurship and women owned businesses in the United States. So I dug up a few statistics that I wanted to share. I just wanted to see where things stood. I know I hear chatter and I hear people talk about where we stand in terms of statistics. But so I did a quick search to share this with you. And I was pleasantly surprised. And also, in the end, there's one that really hurt. So let me just get started and share these with you. In 2025, women are driving significant small business growth, launching nearly half of all new businesses, showing strong profitability, and focusing on expansion via digital marketing, staffing, and customer base growth, despite still facing funding gaps compared to men, though loan sizes are increasing, with women of color increasingly leading this entrepreneurial surge. That's amazing. Women now own nearly 4 in 10 US businesses, and these women's business presence is growing across industries. Compared to just a few decades ago, the shift has been massive. 39.2% of all US businesses are women owned, according to Women Entrepreneurs Driving Economic Growth. 22.4% of employer firms are women owned, according to the US Census. 47%, of all women owned businesses are owned by women of color. Black women own 2.4 million businesses, the highest of any minority group. In 1972, women owned just 4.6% of U.S. businesses. From 1972 to 2024, women-owned businesses grew by over 3,400%, according to American Express State of Women-Owned Businesses report. According to coaching statistics, 67% of business coaches are women. Key statistics show about 20% of all businesses fail in the first year, and 50% fail within the first 5 years, with women-led firms often exhibiting strong survival rates despite potentially lower revenues. This makes me even more proud of myself that I've now been in business for 10 years. Now, 20% of all businesses fail in the first year, and 50% fail within the first 5 years. I also know that most women's businesses never hit the $1 million mark within their first 10 years. Now, the reasons for closing, top reason for closure for both genders is often a lack of profit. But this is the kicker. Women are significantly more likely to cite family or personal reasons for closing, 40% more than men, highlighting work-life balance challenges. And that sucks. That sucks because women are the ones that carry the heavier load in their homes and oftentimes in the workplace. And when push comes to shove in a home with two parents and children, oftentimes the man's career or business is given preference, largely because, well, women have to do everything, right? All the things at home, all the cooking, all the child rearing, and the taking the kids to school and bringing in an income, but also because of the wage gap. So if you have two people bringing in an income and one of them needs to suffer, one of them needs to be let go because things at home are falling apart and somebody needs to take care of that. And if somebody's career is going to be given preference, usually it's a man's because he's usually making more money. So if you have to give up one or cut back on one, the person who's bringing more money is generally the one that's going to be given preference. Like, okay, let's build up your career. And then the other one stays home to take care of the kids. I hear this all the time. And in many cases, because of the wage gap, it is the man that's bringing in the higher income. So then, therefore, the woman has to give up her career or not grow her career or let go of her business. I know for me, when we were married, that was our situation. I took care of everything at home and the kids and had a career, and we had equal careers. We had equal roles, my husband and I, but he earned way more money than I did. So our career growth of maturity was kind of at the same level. And so when it came to travel and it came to putting in more effort or more hours or what have you to like try to get promoted, it sometimes required, well, more time away from home. And especially with like travel. And so we decided once when our travel conflicted that if we were going to if one of us was going to have to tell our boss, sorry, I can't go because I have to be home with the kids, that we were going to give priority to his career because he was making more money than my career, because that meant that if his advancement and the income that he could bring in would be larger and would benefit us more. And so my career took the back burner, and we purposely did that, and we talked about it, and we decided that. And I was okay with that at the time because I also thought we had longevity. And so anyways, never do that again. So clearly we're not married anymore. Anyhow, continuing to move on from these statistics, which suck. Well, no, they're amazing that more women, that women are owning businesses, are starting businesses, are launching businesses, and are succeeding and being more resilient and showing profitability. And I love all this because as women, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. We are tired of being told how many hours we have to work. We are tired. We want control. We want control of our time. We want control of our schedules. We want control over who we get to work with, what clients we get to serve, what kind of products and offers we offer. We get to own our creativity in our offers. We get to make the decisions. We don't have to ask anybody for permission to take time off, for permission to stay home with their kids when they're sick, for permission to care for a sick parent or to grieve the death of a parent. We don't need to ask anybody for permission to, work from home or work from Greece or from a coffee shop or from your parents' house. We want control over ourselves, over our lives, over our days, over how we spend our life and our destiny. Only we can create that. We cannot have full control of ourselves, of our income, of when we choose to increase our income, of when we choose to rest, as long as we're working for somebody else. Somebody else has control of that. And so I'm here for it. I'm here for it. This is what I'm so passionate about. It's especially for women. I am passionate about us empowering ourselves, educating ourselves, being in a place where we get to have control over our own destiny, our life, what we do, how we work, etc. And so today I'm going to celebrate me. I'm going to celebrate me. I started this business in 2015. Actually, maybe a couple years earlier, I started working for myself as a freelancer, but officially in 2015. That's when I created my website and started marketing myself. And I started working as a virtual assistant, just offering administrative work to whoever needed it. And I would do anything and everything under the sun just to get clients and to learn more skills. And having had a marketing background and working in marketing for 18 years, it was natural for me to have this marketing mind and to start offering marketing solutions and strategies to my clients and to become a more active role in their businesses and helping them shape their businesses and grow their businesses. I'm also very organized. So I have the ability to make, create organization out of chaos and create processes and make everything simple. That is my superpower as a manifesting generator, in human design. And so I had a lot of skills and to bring to the table. But I started as a marketing as a virtual assistant, and one of my very first clients asked me if I would launch a podcast for her. She had a 9-to-5 job. She was a coach on the side, and she wanted to start a podcast. And she had purchased this course, an online course from John Lee Dumas. For any podcasters out there who might recognize that name, he was one of like the first people in the podcasting industry that I know of that like started teaching how to podcast. So she purchased a course from him, and she said, I don't have time to take this course. Do you want to take it and learn and launch my podcast for me? And just tell me what I need to do, what you need from me so you can launch it. I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. And ever since, I fell in love with podcasting, and that was 2015. So I started working as in podcast support. And, over the years, I became a podcast producer and started actually launching podcasts for other clients. It took me a few years to get into this. I'm a podcast producer. I can help you launch your podcast. I don't know why it intimidated me. So I was working more in like a podcast support role, like let me help you get your guests organized and scheduled. And I wasn't even editing at the time. I didn't even know how to do that. And so that all came with time. So anyways, that's what I do now, and I absolutely love it. And so I went from, virtual assistant and offering podcast support. And I very quickly learned that the people that I love to work with the most are coaches, therapists, healers, and intuitives. And that became my niche. And that was amazing. I loved that because I know the amazing work that they're doing in the world. And I didn't think that I didn't have any sort of training to be a therapist and to help in that way. And I didn't know at the time that I could be a coach. So I felt like they are out there doing the work and helping other people. And this is the way that I can contribute, is to help them keep their businesses organized and to take all the mundane stuff off of their list, off of their hands, so that they could focus on what they're here to do in their magic and their gifts, which is to help other people. And so I felt that this was my way of helping others and contributing And so, yeah, and it's just started growing from there. And about 2 years ago, and then that role grew into more of an online business management role because I started learning so much about people's businesses and just had a much bigger and better understanding that than just a virtual assistant would, and somebody who just does tasks and little projects here and there. I had a much larger role with these women, the entrepreneurs that I was working with, and so I loved the work that I was doing. And in 2023, I just got this hit that it was a download, and there's an episode that I did on that I'm here for more. And so that's when I decided to learn to become a coach. And it just has all grown from there. And my roles have changed so much since 2023. I'm no longer a virtual assistant, although I do still do some online business management for a couple of clients. I mostly do podcast production. That is what that side of the business's focuses on. And I have a small team that helps me with that. I also have a podcast online course, to start a podcast, launch your own podcast course, which teaches you how to do it in 30 days. So I do have an online course now of my own, and I'm a life and business coach. Now I trained to be a life coach, and I call myself a holistic life and business coach because I don't just I don't just do life coaching in the practical sense of here's the goal and here's the action steps and I'm going to hold you accountable. I call myself a holistic life and business coach because I go deeper into, okay, you're procrastinating. What is the root cause of that? Let's go deep into the ingrained programming and subconscious beliefs that we have. And let's work with those and break those and reprogram the subconscious so that we can stop procrastinating, because it is more than just, I don't want to get up to go to the gym, or I just don't want to, I just keep procrastinating this project. There's like a deeper reason behind all the things that we do, all our actions, all our patterns, all our habits. And so I like to look at the whole person as a whole when we're working together, whether it's in life coaching or in business coaching. Now, business coaching, it feels like I just fell into it because when I started coaching, the people that were coming to me mostly for business support, for life or for business coaching. And so then I kind of went that route. But really, when we work on business coaching, we are really touching on the life coaching piece of it as well. So, anyways, that's a little bit of my history in terms of how I came to be in business and what my business is all about. But now I'm going to share with you the 10 lessons I've learned from being in business in 10 years, for 10 years. Number one, you have to start before you're ready. Nobody feels like they're ready to become a parent or to go to college or to start a business. You have to just do it. You just have to make a decision to just get started. There is no perfect time to do it. You just have to start. You start messy, start with what you have, start with what you know. If you need some guidance, then get some guidance from somebody. But you just have to start. There's never going to be a time when it is perfectly ready and aligned. Even once you've started a business and know what you're going to do, a lot of people get stuck in the, oh, but this isn't ready, and the website's not ready, and my offer's not 100% ready, and that my marketing strategy is not ready, and my business plan is not ready. Forget all that. Forget all that. You don't have to have everything absolutely in place to get started. Just get started. You just start, and then you pivot, and then you adjust. Step number 2, clarity comes from action. That goes back to, that almost ties into number 1, is The clarity of what you need to do and what your offer needs to be and what your website needs to be is going to come from taking the action of being in business, of starting to see clients. All of that starts to fall into place. I work with many people who start businesses, who start coaching businesses specifically, but I've worked with many people, probably close to 40 people in the last 2 years that have started businesses, and we set up their website, and I always tell them from the beginning, don't think about it too much because it's going to change. 6 months from now, you're going to come in and adjust this website, the content on your website. It's going to change. It's going to be different because you're going to be a different person. It's dynamic. You grow, your business grows. You change, your business changes. And the more you're in business and the more people you help, the more you start to realize, oh, this is what I do for clients. These are the results my clients get. Oh, this is the type of client that I'm working with. This is the person that I'm working with. So inevitably, your business model or your offers or the language, the content that you use to market yourself changes. So clarity comes from action. So the more action you take, the more clear you get on who you are in the business that you're offering and the results that you're offering, that transformation that you offer your clients. So just go in and just do it messy and just learn from it because I'm telling you, we're all doing it that way. We're all doing it messy and just you clean it up as you go. Okay. Lesson number three is get comfortable with being uncomfortable. If you've never been in business before, it's going to be scary. It's going to feel like fear. It's going to feel some days like you just want to die. Sometimes it's going to feel like when you post something, when you post an announcement about being in business or about what you're about to embark on, you're going to feel like you want to throw up. I was just talking to a client last night and she said she had posted, something about her business that she's just starting. We're working on her starting this business. And she posted something last night or a couple of days ago on Instagram. And then she ended up on Facebook at some point and realized that it had automatically posted to Facebook also. And she just thought she was going to die. She felt the world crumbled down on her because on Facebook, her Instagram page is mostly the people that follow her for the business that she's about to embark on or that she's starting. Facebook is her friends and family. And so when she saw it on Facebook, she just said she just felt like the world was crumbling down on her. She just felt this fear and this panic. That's what it is. It was panic come over her. And I know that feeling well. This panic come over her and she just went in and deleted it completely. That's the kind of thing that happens. And I kept asking her, why? Why? She's like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm scared. I was scared. I was panicking. I was in fear. These are all the people that I know. And so that's going to happen a lot, a lot. And it's just your nervous system not knowing what's happening. Your nervous system thinks it's being chased by a tiger because it's new and it's unfamiliar. So your nervous system needs time to get adjusted. And the more we allow our nervous system to just have its moment, okay, now I'm not saying just keep going and ignore it. No. Okay, panicking, it's on Facebook. Okay. Rather than reacting to it in a way that I'm going to take it down and delete it, we need to start to allow our nervous system to calm down. Take a few deep breaths. Take mindful deep breaths. Think about the situation. It's okay. We are safe. We are safe. And take deep breaths. And there's more to it that we can do. I spent a whole hour working with her on this particular issue yesterday, regulating her nervous system and reprogramming and, removing that energy from their body and implanting embedding a new thought belief and a new belief and pattern and anyways, a pattern interrupt. And we worked for a whole hour on this yesterday. So there's more to it, of course. But all that to say is that the more that we get comfortable with being uncomfortable, the more we get used to how we're going to work through it and be okay with it, because there's going to be a lot of discomfort, especially if you've never been in business or if you're pivoting your business. For me, it was going from being a virtual assistant, podcast producer, online business manager, to becoming a coach. I'm still getting used to that. I've been a coach for 2 years now. I've worked with, I don't know, maybe like 70. I should count them. Probably like 75 clients by now, maybe 100. And I'm still getting used to, the coaching industry. So and every time we pivot and every time we have a new offer, there's a new level of discomfort. Or every time we increase our prices, or every time we're like, you know what, this program is actually it's worth more than $2,000. This program is worth $5,000. I've had coaches tell me this program is worth $10,000. Sonia, what are you doing? That takes a body time to get used to saying, yeah, this program's $5,000 or $10,000 or $3,000, depending on what it is, right? So, anyways, get comfortable being uncomfortable. Lesson number 4, those who succeed just didn't quit. That's it. Those people who succeed are not smarter than you, don't have the secret figured out, don't have anything figured out. They're not better than you. They don't have more certificates than you. They didn't succeed. Let me put it this way. They didn't succeed because they were smarter, or they knew more, or they knew more people, or they have more certificates, or they have more training or education. They succeeded because they didn't quit. Period. That's it. We all fail. We have many fails in our business. And this can be anything, right? Like, we have a Black Friday sale and I want to sell 100 online courses. I want, and I only sold 20. It's not a failure, but we see it as that because we give ourselves a goal and then we fall short and we call it a failure. Let's call it a failure if you want to. Maybe we put a program together and then nobody signs up. Okay, nobody signed up. Maybe that was a fail. But you know what? Every time we fail or win or fall somewhere in between, it's just data. It's just data. It's like, okay, that didn't work. That's not a viable offer because nobody bought it. So what is? Does something need to change? I was excited about it. What needed to change? Did not enough people see it? Anyways, you pivot and you adjust and you create a new offer, or you adjust the one, or you change something. But the point is, everything we do is just data. It's just data for us to take in and then analyze. And let's say I wanted to sell 100 and I sold 100 or 200. Great. That's still data. What went right? What can I do again? What went wrong? What was right? What was wrong? And what will I do differently? What will I do next time? That's all it is. It's all an opportunity to evaluate what went right, what went wrong, and what will I do next time. Period. So those who succeed just didn't quit. That's it. Number 5, find what works for you, not what's working for everybody else. You're going to see so many people on social media talking about the right way to do things, and you're doing it wrong if you're doing this, and there's only one way to do it, and you have to be doing that. And you're going to see people that have this massive success. Those are the people that stand out because they did something great and amazing overnight or over a year. And we want to be like them. We want that kind of success. Or they're doing a ton of online workshops and that's how they made their money, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. Find what works for you. We each have a different energy that we carry. We each operate differently and magnetize our clients in a different way. And if you're into human design, it is all, you might understand this better, but I run my business knowing from the lens of my human design energy, which is a manifesting generator. I do not work the way a reflector works. I do not work or magnetize my clients the way any of the other human design energies work. So, what makes me think that everybody on the internet is doing things? There is no one way to do things, is what I'm trying to say. Every person, every thought leader, business person that gets out there on social media and says, this is the way and the only way, and if you're doing it a different way, it's wrong. No, they're wrong. They're wrong because we each have a different energy. Our energy shows up differently. We magnetize clients in a different way based on our own energy. So there is no way that your one way is the right way. It's the right way for you. So find what works for you. For me, finding clients, going to like regular network events where we're just there to like give each other referrals did not work for me when my virtual assistant business. For me, the way to find clients in the most organic and most beautiful way was attending events that I enjoyed. I started attending these annual events that We All Grow Latina was putting together. Amazing events, whether they were 1-day events for women in business or they were 4 or 5-day events for women in business and wellness and all these things. This is where I met my people. This is where I met in retreats of that nature, wellness retreats. That's where I met people in a very organic way, where I had the opportunity to tell them what I do just in simple conversation. I gained so many clients from just meeting people in this way, from just doing the things that I love, from participating in things that I enjoy. And that to me became my marketing. That's when I invested in those things. I made sure that I was attending 2 to 3 to 4 of these types of events a year because that was my marketing. That was me getting out there and meeting people and telling them what I do. It didn't mean that I was going to walk away with a client. Sometimes I did. Sometimes I walked away with a business card. I want to talk to you. I need a virtual assistant. Great. Most of the time I didn't. But they would reach out to me sometimes 2, 3 years later. Sometimes they would refer me to their clients or to people that they knew. So that for me became my way of filling my pipeline. A business coach might have told me to do something completely different. So find what works for you. And it's got to be enjoyable too. So find what works for you, not what's working for others. Okay, lesson number 6. Invest in yourself and your business. In the beginning, I did not invest in myself. It wasn't until I invested in a coach, my first coach in 2019, that I really started to see results, that I really started to love my job. Well, let me step back. From 2015 to 2018, my business was very part-time, and it was just a way for me to like not be bored at home. My boys were teenagers. I was a stay-at-home mom at the time. I had taken a sabbatical from corporate, and my business was just really for fun. It was fun money. I didn't have the pressure of having to bring in a certain amount of money. I did not have the pressure. Like my finances were taken care of, and my lifestyle was taken care of, and my kids were as well. So in 2018, that changed, and it had to become my full-time job and income producer. And it's what paid my bills, my rent, my living, my son's college, cars, expense, all things. And it happened from one day to the next, completely came out of nowhere. And I had to go from a 20-hour-a-week part-time business to a full-time business that was going to pay for all my bills. And I did that in a matter of 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I had a full roster. But in 2019, I was ready to burn it all down and go back to corporate because I was losing it. All of a sudden, my business was no longer feeling fun. It was no longer a fun money, a fun money business anymore. It was the thing that was providing for me, and I had to take it seriously. And I was ready to throw in the towel and just say, I can't do this anymore. So I ran my business for a year full time as my income provider. And that was really difficult until I hired a coach, and she helped me really structure my business in a way that it was fun again, that I was only offering the offers that I actually enjoyed, that I restructured my business and my offers in a way that it supported me. She also helped me see that I was completely undercharging. And that's when things shifted. That's when things completely shifted for me when I hired my first coach. And from there on out, I I would not have made it without a coach. There comes a point where you need a coach to guide you, or somebody, whether it's a coach or I don't know, a course or people who know. I just don't know how the way another way to do it, but really a coach to guide you through all the things. And ever since I've had a coach, in fact, she's still my coach today, and I hire other coaches for different things in my business. And I have a life coach, and I also have a personal trainer, a coach that trains me in strength training. And I just cannot emphasize enough to invest in yourself and your business. You will get your money back. A coach helps you organize your thoughts. It helps you see things that you cannot see. Sometimes when we are in the chaos of things, we cannot see the big picture. We cannot see what is right in front of us because we are in a graspy mode. We are in panic mode. And it takes us hiring somebody, it takes somebody else to see, hey, this is what's happening for you. Let's lay this out. Let's make this simpler. Let's give you some action steps. I'm going to hold you accountable. And then also, if it's a coach that's already been through what you're going through, then use them as a guide. It is actually your shortcut to get to the next level. Instead of trying to figure it out yourself and trying to read all the things online and trying to do all the research, hire a coach that already knows how to do it, and it's going to guide you there. It's going to get you there much quicker. It's going to help you stay accountable. It's going to be your partner in crime, your partner in business. Sometimes I would tell myself in business, gosh, I wish I had like a person, like a co-business partner in my business so that we can make decisions together, because sometimes I wish I had somebody to run ideas by. Well, that's what a coach is for. That's what a coach is for. That's what you can do with your coach. Your coach becomes your partner. They want to see you succeed. And I will gladly pay money to be coached, to have shortcuts, to have a partner, to have accountability, because I know that every time I invest in myself, I make that money back and then some. It multiplies. So invest in yourself. If you do not have enough value, enough worth in yourself to invest in yourself, why would your clients invest in you? Think about that. You have to own your value. You have to know that you're worth it and that you're going to invest in yourself. And the more you invest in yourself and the more that you grow, your clients will invest in you as well. All right. Lesson number 7 is about pricing. This question always comes up with 50 plus people that I have worked with in business coaching in the last 2 years. And one question is, how do I price it? Where do I price it? You know what? Pick a number. Just pick a number. Pick a number that feels good to you. Yeah, sure. You can do comparison shopping. Let's see what everybody else is charging. You're going to see everything across the board. If I were to look up how much a virtual assistant costs, I'm going to find anywhere from $5 for somebody that's working overseas. You're going to get what you pay for, FYI. But you're going to see domestic people charging anywhere from 20, 25, 35, up to $75 an hour to be a virtual assistant. So pick your price. Where do you feel comfortable? What feels supportive to you? And own it. and make sure that you believe that you are worth that. You have to be in full ownership of your value and the value that you offer, and people will pay your price. So just pick a number. Pick a number and go with it, and make sure that you believe in that number. Make sure that you would be willing to pay that number, and somebody will pay that to you. And this is why investing in yourself, the previous lesson, is important, because when you know that you will invest in yourself, you will show up in that energy, and your energy will magnetize that. And then people in your audience and clients will be like, oh, yeah, I want to work with her. So just pick a number, and you will know when it's time to raise it. You could pick a number. Listen, you can give every client a different price and just see where it lands. There was a time when I knew I was undercharging, and I had such a hard time raising my price even by $1 an hour. Because I was used to corporate back in the day when I first started working, back in the McDonald's drive-through days, when, raises were a quarter of a dollar. When I was getting paid hourly, it was like, oh, $1 raise was like a lot, So raising raising my prices as a virtual assistant was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to raise my pricing by $1 or $2 an hour. Oof, that's a lot. $5 an hour? Oh my gosh. Like, oh, Sonia, you should be charging $5 more an hour. Oh my God, my clients are going to drop me. $5 more an hour? Can you believe that? That's a lot. It's not. Think about it. It really isn't at the end of the day for the work that you do. Anyways, so what I started doing when I realized that I was way grotesquely undercharging, for every new client that came in, I just started like raising the rate to see how far I could take it, to like, and I went in increments to allow my nervous system to get used to that too. So instead of saying, instead of saying it's $20 an hour, it's $25 an hour. Okay, great. Yeah, let's do business. Oh, wow. She said yes. Okay, next time I might be like, it's $28 an hour. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let me try $30 an hour. $30 an hour. Okay. $33 an hour. And let's say they didn't hire me. And then maybe then I was like, oh, okay, I stick at $30 an hour. Sometimes your nervous system needs time to get used to that too. I'm not saying that that's what you should be charging as a virtual assistant. It's just an example. But if you're a coach and you charge $1,200 for 12 weeks of coaching, maybe try increasing it to $1,500 or $1,800 or $2,000. Really, what is your value? What do you think you're worth? Where do you feel that your worth is? That's where you need to price it. Now, so just pick a number and just go with it. See what happens. It's all data. If everybody says no, evaluate whether you are giving good, consultations, when you're trying to close a client, or evaluate, is it the pricing? So try to make some tweaks, but really, you just got to pick a price and go with it. Now, there came a time when I started to feel resentment towards a client. Like, ugh, I don't want to work with them. Their work just like bothered me. And I was working with a business coach, and she said to me, well, Sonia, she's like, if you were to raise your price by $5 an hour or $10 an hour, no, I think she might have said, like, if you were to raise your price by $5 an hour, and that's just an example, okay, just to like keep it simple here, $5 an hour, would you still feel resentful? I was like, yeah. She's like, if you raised your price by $10 an hour, would you still feel resentful? I said, no. She goes, then it's not the client that you don't like, and it's not the work that you don't like. It's that the energy exchange is no longer equal. So money is just energy. So the money exchange, the energy exchange of money for work, the value of the work was no longer equal. I knew that the value that I was offering was way higher than the exchange that I was receiving. So I guess this is two lessons in one: how to price yourself and when to know when to raise your prices. When you start feeling resentment, put yourself to that test. If I were to charge more, would I still want to work with this client or not? And if you double the price or triple the price and I still wouldn't want to work with them, then it's time to let that client go. But if at some point you reach yeah, I would want to work with them at this rate, then it's time to raise your price. Okay? All right, lesson number 8. All the answers you seek are within you. We often want to seek approval, validation for all the answers that we want outside of us. And while, yes, sometimes it's a good idea to, okay, what are other people doing? What's the trend? What is working out there? What is not? The answer for what is right for you and what you need to do is within you. And this is where intuition plays a big part. Now, I often look outside of me for inspiration, for ideas, and that just gets my brain going like, oh, that just starts getting my creative juices running. I don't usually go, oh my gosh, I want to replicate that. I never want to do that. That's not a thing for me. I never want to replicate 100% what somebody else is doing, but I could look at what somebody else is doing and go, oh, and it jots ideas for something I can do for myself, an offer I can do for myself. Or it's not even about offers. It could just be like, how to run a business or how to network or how to market or how to write emails or whatever part of the business it is. All the answers for your business are inside of you already. And this is a big part of what I teach my clients to do, is to tap in, to go within. We call in, and when my client doesn't know how to do this, I teach them how to do this, and I do this with them. We do a session where we call in their spirit guides, their business spirit guides specifically, to ask for guidance on what is next. Where do we go from here? What do we do from here? How do we price it? What does 2026 look like? Let's call in the business guides and let's create a plan. What do I need to know for my business for 2026? What do I need to do? Who do I need to talk to? Where do I need to market? How much do I need to market? Et cetera, et cetera. All the answers are inside of you. What everybody else is doing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. For your energy and your business, the answers are within you. So be very careful about who you're trying to copy, and especially the people telling you you have to do things this way. No, the answers are within you. So look within. Lesson number 9. You have to do your own inner work. Your inner work on your personal self, your personal development. Your business is an extension of you. So clear your energy, process your emotions, do your inner work so your energy leaks, so that the energy that you leak over to your audience, and so your energy leaks into your business and into your audience, and your energy magnetizes your clients. So who do you want to magnetize? Do you want to magnetize somebody who's clear on what they want to do, who can make a decision, who can make an investment in your business, make an investment in themselves? Or do you want to magnetize somebody who's unsure, who's looking for outside validation, who's looking for a husband's approval to spend their money, who's looking for et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? You have to be doing your own personal work. You have to constantly be working on yourself, working on your triggers, working on your patterns, working on your limiting beliefs, your procrastinations. Live in the breakthroughs. Try to constantly be making a breakthrough, giving a breakthrough, because the more you clean your slate, the more you work on yourself and you develop yourself, clean your energy, the more people will magnetize to you. The more you will magnetize the people that want to pay for your offers. So you constantly have to be doing the personal work, because your business is just an extension of you. It's your energy. So live in the breakthroughs, do your inner work. And I have several podcast episodes where I teach you how to work through your emotions or work through triggers and things of that nature, work through your limiting beliefs. You go search through those. That's what I mean by that. process your emotions, learn how to process your emotions, learn how to clear your energy, working through limiting beliefs and patterns. Yeah, go look through my library of podcast episodes, and there are several in there that could help you at least get started in how to do your own inner work. And if you don't know how to do that, then find a coach that can do that. So work with somebody that can do that with you. And lesson number 10, act as if. Now, this is not fake it till you make it. That's a whole different vibe. This is act as if. Embody being the person who already has the results that you're looking for. Embody being the business person that already has the business that you're striving for. So I know it seems weird, but you kind of have to become that person before the business becomes that. So, and this is something that I love to do with my clients as well. It's like, okay, let's call in your higher self. Let's say you were calling your higher self, your 2027 higher self, so that you can communicate with her and she can tell you what's coming in 2026 and who you need to become in 2026, the patterns and the habits that you need in 2026 to get to that 2027 higher self. I also like to work with my highest self. Sometimes I call in my highest self to be like, okay, I am stuck here. What do I need to do? This is the highest self that's already lived all the timelines and all the experiences that I came into this lifetime to experience. So she already knows all the things. She already knows what I'm going through, the struggles, the what worked, the what didn't work, the what I need to do. So I call her in. So this is a great way. This is one way to look at it. If you are woo-woo and spiritual, and if you don't believe in that, okay then. Who do you need to embody? Who do you need to be? And this is a great tip for this is finding an expander, like somebody who already is that person, embodies that energy of who you want to become, or somebody who you want to emulate, or somebody who inspires you. You can take that as an example and be like, okay, I need to become like her. Like these are her habits and their patterns, and this is what I see her do that work for her. How do I need to incorporate that into my business and embody that? I hope that makes sense, because I don't want you to think that I'm telling you to be like somebody else after I already told you all the answers are within you and don't look at what everybody else is doing. But maybe you journal who that version of you is in this next chapter of your business and what she needs to show up as, who she is and how she's showing up as a successful business owner, and embody that, become that today, so that your business can then follow. So I hope that makes sense. So you have to embody the energy and that being of being where you want to be before the business is there. To become that before you actually have the results. So if I want to show up, if I want to look professional, if I want to, in fact, I had 2 episodes ago, it was a 10-minute shift that changed my whole day. It was something like that. I talk about that. I was journaling, I was in meditation, and I was working on intentionally manifesting something that I've been working on. And I asked myself, who do I need to be? Who is that version of me that already has that result? What will she be doing today? And I was sitting in my room journaling this. It was early in the morning. And I journaled, well, she would be going out for a walk. She would be taking her time. She would have a slow morning. She would clean her slate, her energy, do some meditating, have a nice, calm cup of coffee, shower, get ready, and show up looking professional, lipstick on, the earrings, the hair. And I said, oh, and I was sitting there in my pajamas at the time. And I had decided that morning that I was going to stay in pajamas all day because I can. And I thought, oh, if the version of me that I'm trying to become is this professional woman that's successful and is seeing, has a full roster of coaching clients every day and is helping women through transformations and creating the lives that they want and creating successful businesses day in and day out, then I'm going to show up differently. I'm gonna if when I see clients, like when I see coaching clients, I clean I I clean my energy. I clear my energy. I make sure that I show up, that I'm showered, that I'm put together, that I've taken time before their session, before their appointment to clear my energy and my to get grounded. I go out for a walk. If it's raining, I'll journal, I'll meditate, I turn on a candle. I get ready. I get ready to receive them. Let go of my shit and my stress. I get that off my body and my energy so that I am ready for my clients to receive them and to pay attention to them and to not be over here overwhelmed, stressed out, and in anxiety over my own shit. No, I open up my doors to my clients and I want that to feel like a sanctuary to them. I want them to know that when they come to see me, it is a safe space and it is about them. And I am here for them and I'm here to support them. And everything we do and talk about is about them, including my energy. So that in that moment when I was journaling that, and I said, oh, well, if I had a full roster of clients, I'm not going to be sitting here on my PJs. Oh, I got myself up and changed that energy frequency so fast, literally changed it in 10 minutes. It showed up completely different to the rest of my day. That's the kind of thing that I mean. That day, I was like, I'm going to embody that person. And when the more you start doing that, the more you embody that future version of yourself that you see yourself being, the more everything else starts coming along. After I did that, now that I think about it, that was a month ago. That was about a month ago. From that time to now, I have 3 new clients without marketing, without boasting, without these are people that showed up because they were referred to me or they found me. And it had nothing to do with how I was marketing myself, how many social posts and reels I had, how many lives I did. It had nothing to do with that. It had to do with my inner work, the inner work that I was doing and the person that I had embodied and doing all the work that I just discussed. So that was lesson number 10. I hope that this is helpful for you if you're in business, if you're starting your business, if you want to start a business. It's hard, but it's easy. It's easy, but it's hard. It can be an amazing experience, and you don't have to do it alone. It's a lot easier doing it with somebody by your side, whether you have a co-business partner to work with or you hire a coach to walk alongside you. It's a lot easier with somebody. I've been in masterminds also, and this is where we do group coaching. And although there was some benefit to that, I did enjoy being in community with other women and other people. I enjoy my one-on-one coaching a lot more. I actually, now that I'm saying that, I like a combination of working with a coach one-on-one and working in like a mastermind in a group setting because there is an energy to group settings that is unmatched that you can't do in a one-on-one. But the one-on-ones offer you very customized sessions for you, where the group is more of this gosh, what do I want to call it? That word escapes me right now. It helps you manifest faster because you have the energy of all the people. People bring in their energies together, and we bring in energies for each other that are lacking in another. And so we are able to manifest the things that we're working on a lot faster, quicker, and more efficiently when we are in group. If you want to start a business, if you are scared to do it on your own, if you are in business and you feel like you're not getting results, get the help that you deserve. Get the help that you deserve. Work with somebody, get in a mastermind, hire a coach, something. You deserve it. You are worth it. I want to see you succeed. You got in business or you want to go into business because you want something different. And you can do it. And I'm going to hold that belief for you that you can do it until you believe it. I'm here for that. I'm here to cheerlead you and to hold that belief for you and to empower you that you can do it. So I hope that this has been helpful. Thank you so much for helping me celebrate and to summarize my accomplishments and to give that, to honor that decision in me to, number one, start the business. Number two, to keep going. Number two, three, to not throw in the towel and to actually hire the help that I needed to get to where I'm at. And every year, except for two years, I saw a drop in my income. But I was just looking at my income year after year, and it has grown every year. And well, that's what we want, right? We want to be able to make more money in order to be able to do more and offer more and support our friends and family more and to give more and share more and all the things. So thank you so much for being here. Share this episode with somebody who you think might need this information and encouragement to start their own business or grow their own business. Thank you for being here. Hasta la próxima.